Well, you asked for it, and I'm giving it to you. A top 10 Parfums De Marly fragrances video. These are my top 10 Parfums De Marly fragrances with one honorable mention. So if you're curious to find out what they are, please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time landing on my channel and you love watching fragrance review videos, finding out about new fragrances, discovering new brands, and participating in giveaways, and still haven't subscribed to my channel, please click that subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So yes, I'm a fan of Parfums De Marly. I love this house and I love a lot of their fragrances. In fact, I love them so much that I love wearing them over and over and over again. They do garner compliments, but some more than others. And of course, the ones that garner me the most compliments, I'm going to tell you what they are. But I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into this and do the video. These are all 10 male fragrances or unisex fragrances. I think most of them are very unisex. In fact, I have one ladies targeted fragrance here, which is my honorable mention. It's Delina. And this one, I do have a review of it on my channel. But I love this one because it's a fruity floral, and it's got this milky touch to it. And it slightly hints at a little bit of Intense Cafe from Montal. So it's really, really beautiful. Really, I love wearing it. In fact, in the summertime, this works great. But it is targeted to the ladies. It's just like, it's not overly feminine. And as I said, it does have that milky quality that kind of hints a little bit at Intense Cafe. Perhaps the rose in here comes off like that. So it's really, really delicious. I'm curious to discover Delina Exclusif, because I know that's out, but I haven't really tested it yet. But as far as one for the ladies that I really like is Delina, and that's the honorable mention here. We'll go ahead and get started with the actual top 10 list. Now at number 10, we're going with the one that's really animalic leather. Right here, it's Kuhuyan. Now Kuhuyan is a very, very unique leather. In fact, we were going to feature it in my top 20 leather fragrances video ranked by Dahlia, but we ended up going with Godolphin. She left this one off. She felt this one was overly animalic, and it is really overly animalic. From the bottle, it doesn't smell as animalic, but as when you wear it. And it's also very intense. It's really, really beast mode. So that's why I think she left this one off. It's really, really intense. It's like over the top intense. And as it touches your body chemistry, the animalic qualities even increase. So out of the bottle, as I said, it's not so animalic, but it is. It's a complete different leather fragrance compared to Godolphin. So, but there are those people that like different takes on leather. This one goes into the Tuscan leather territory direction. This one's completely different and original. Out of the bottle, also when I smell it, there are some kind of like gourmandy aspects to it. There are sweet, kind of tonka beanie, kind of sweeter qualities to it. And on me, they kind of amp up as well, but it does amp up more with the animalic qualities. That's why this is at the bottom. It's a little challenging to wear. It's Kuhuyan from Parfums De Marly. So at number 9, it is Percival, the one that was launched last year. Now this one's at the bottom because this is a really hard list to do, really, really tough list to do, because there's so many great fragrances here, so many that I can't like decide which one. And that's why this one ended up at the bottom more, because this one to me is reminiscent of other similar fragrances a lot more. So it's a great fragrance, don't get me wrong, but I find the other fragrances a lot better to me than this particular one, where I can get this particular fragrance from so many different brands or designers even. It's already kind of been done, if that makes sense. But as far as quality goes, this is great. That's why this one slipped to the bottom, or it is in the bottom. But this is a great compliment getter. This is a crowd pleaser. People tend to love this kind of scent on me, and mixed with my chemistry, it just garners so many compliments. People ask me what I'm wearing and things like that. So it's good for what it is. It's actually great for what it is, but I think I prefer these a lot more than this particular kind of scent, if that makes sense. I like my scents to be not so easy, and this is an easy scent. It's a crowd pleaser, as I said. It's a compliment getter. People tend to like this kind of scent. I like more challenging scents, more unique takes on fragrances, and that's why this one's at number 9. At number 8, it is Akaster. So Akaster is a fragrance I reviewed recently, and this one is all about the rose and oud combo, and that is a very, very popular style of fragrance. Lots of different brands have rose and oud. Rose and oud is very, very popular, and it's a great, great combo. Oud and rose go hand in hand. They do complement one another, and it's a great balance of notes to work with. This is a great fragrance, don't get me wrong, but it's in the bottom because, again, once again, I have lots of rose and oud, and these to me are a little more unique than Akaster, but as far as quality goes, it's amazing. It's strong, it's intense, and it's slightly animalic, and it's a bit pungent, but it is so good. It is really, really good. It's a slightly unique take on the rose and oud combo, and they've done a great job here with Akaster. But again, I have so many rose and oud combo fragrances, and I find the rest of the list a lot more unique to me than Akaster, and that's why Akaster is at number 8. At number 7, it is Godolphin. To me, in my collection, Godolphin is a sleeper. I rarely pull for it. It's because I have so many other leathers, but this is so good. And this one, as I was saying about Kuhuyan, Dahlia put this one further up. Even she ranked it higher than Tuscan Leather because she liked it. And I agree with her. Tuscan Leather is a very challenging fragrance for me. And the reason I like this one a little more than Tuscan Leather is because this one has a little more fruity touch. This one actually goes closer to Ombre Leather, if that makes sense. But they're not the same, don't get me wrong. But this one is really, really a great, great leather. If you've been a fan of Tuscan Leather and it had been burnt out on it and you want a little slight unique twist and you want to go in a different territory, you might want to try Godolphin from Parfums De Marly. I find the fruity touches to be a little more amped up, and the leather doesn't come off so animalic and intense. For me, Tuscan Leather, people compare this a lot to Tuscan Leather. Tuscan Leather is so intense, I get anosmic to it. This one is intense too, don't get me wrong, but this one actually has a more of a softer, gentler quality, even though it's intense. So that one is right here, Godolphin at number 7. At number 6, we're going with Byerley, this one right here. So Byerley is a very underrated fragrance from this house, and I recently discovered it and I fell in love with it. I immediately said, I want this. I really, really love this one, and I love vetiver to begin with, and this is a very, very unique take on vetiver. For me, this one is a great, great combo with vetiver and cardamom. It's so good together. And then the bergamot at the top also has beautiful, zingy, citric touches. So those 3 notes for me are a match made in heaven. It works great. And the dry down on this is very, very sexy too. And vetiver is very, very classy to begin with. It's a masculine scent typically for guys or men, and it works great with men's chemistry. And this one is an awesome one. You guys, if you love vetiver, check this one out for sure. Test it out and see what you think about it, because the combos of those 3 notes, the vetiver, the cardamom with the bergamot, it's so good. It's so good. In fact, this one is as good with the compliments as Percival is, because it just smells so good and sexy. It's great. Works great with my body chemistry, and that's kind of why I get compliments with this one. I'm not sure about you guys, but check it out. The only other thing I want to mention about Byerley is it does have a very smoky quality as well, but it's very bright with this the bergamot and the cardamom gives it a very, very bright edge. But I think the vetiver in here is a bit on the smoky side. So anyway, that's Byerley at number 6. We're going with Layton at number 5. So why Layton at number 5? Layton is such a good scent. It is so good. It is about cardamom once again. It's here because there's other favorites of mine behind this one. But Layton, I love. It smells so good. The cardamom is intoxicating. It's a spicy, woody combo of a fragrance, and it's quite sexy. There's some fruity touches in here as well that just make for an awesome scent. I think this is probably one of the darlings of this house in the fragrance community. People tend to love Layton, I think. I love it too, but as I said, I have more favorites that are a little better for me than this one, but I think for some of you this might be number one, who knows. But it's a great wearing experience. This one also garners compliments, not so much as this and this one, but this one does, but it's really good. See where Layton Exclusif ends up, but this is Layton at number 5. So at number 4 it is Oajan, this one right here. Now this one is at 4 because I really love the gourmand qualities here. Lots of tonka beans, lots of cinnamon, lots of honey with vanilla. It is really delicious. To me, it smells like Middle Eastern pastries because in the Middle East, you know, like baklava and things like that, there's always honey on baklava, or like simple syrup with spicy touches like cinnamon, things like that go into the making of these desserts. And then of course nutty touches with the tonka bean. So to me it smells like a really delicious Middle Eastern pastry, and it's kind of why I like it. It just brings back memories of having really yummy pastries from the Middle East. It's a great gourmand. It's a great delicious fragrance and very long lasting. One of the best from this house, but of course I have 3 other favorites that have landed higher on the list, but Oajan is definitely a great scent. If you like honey in fragrances, tonka bean, vanilla, and of course cinnamon, check out Oajan. So at number 3, it's a Layton Exclusif, this one right here. These two are so good. They're really good, but I prefer Exclusif over the original because I just find the oud quality in here a little more interesting. I don't personally think there's oud in here. I think there's castoreum, which gives it like a slightly animalic touch and more of like a Middle Eastern kind of twist with the notes, and it makes for a much more interesting fragrance than the original. Don't get me wrong, both are great. It depends on what kind of mood you're in, you're gonna use. Sometimes I'm in the mood for this, and sometimes I'm in the mood for this. This one also has the coffee bean note in here, so there's a little bit of a coffee-like twist along with that castoreum. And apples are also in here as well, I believe. And very good fragrance. So good. I'm absolutely in love with it. This is top 3 fragrance from this house, and definitely deserves it. Layton Exclusif is number 3. So at number 2, it is Carlisle. So Carlisle is a fragrance I fell in love with January of 2017 when I was in Paris at the Parfums De Marly boutique. There I picked up a bottle and I've had it since then. It is a dominant Gaiac wood fragrance, and I love the way this smells. It also kind of reminds me of like a fusion of Herod and Layton from this house. And maybe that was the inspiration or the influence, I'm not really sure, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. And it's just so beast mode. It is intense, overly intense fragrance. And one of my favorite fragrances. I've featured it in so many lists, beast mode lists, projection, sillage, all of those, and it smells so good. I love this one. This one actually garners some compliments as well. Not so much as these two do, but it does garner some compliments. People do like it. It's just, I think, the amount of sprays, and I overspray anyway, so people probably might get offended with my sprays. I'm not really sure, but when it's minimally sprayed, I think this one really does garner compliments. So that's Carlisle at number 2, and I think you probably already guessed what number 1 is. It's Herod, of course. Herod is just a very sexy, classy fragrance with lots of vanilla, tobacco, osmanthus, just a very unique combo. Now this one is not so beast mode as some of the other ones, especially Carlisle and Layton Exclusif, but it doesn't need to be, you know, all the time. This one has the right balance of intensity. It's classy. I find it to be very classy. I also find it to be very sexy, and I think sometimes classy fragrances, if they're overly intense, I don't find them as classy. They just don't think that classiness gets removed from that intensity. But this one has just enough intensity and just enough soft touches to it that it makes for a very sexy, classy fragrance. One of my favorite tobacco fragrances, and of course it's my number 1 Parfums De Marly. Right there, it's Herod. And there you have it. That's my top 10 Parfums De Marly fragrances, guys. What are your thoughts with this list? Are you a fan of these fragrances? Are you a fan of this house? Are you a fan of Herod at my number 1? And also, if you were to do this list, how would you rank these fragrances? Which order would you put them in? Please let me know. Maybe you can put your own order. Of course, this is definitely honorable mention because I really do love it. Plus, it's targeted to the ladies, of course, but it's unisex enough for men to wear if you like fruity floral fragrances. Anyway, that's my list, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Put some comments down. Let's get a conversation started. Other than that, please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.